I would say that, looking at it, the thing that you have to pay the most attention to is your introduction to your storytelling. So I told you about the 5 Ws. We talked about why, who, where, what, when, and being able to answer all of those things. Now, one of the most important Ws for me is why. Why am I watching this character? Who is it? Obviously is important. Who is the character? Who are the eyes I'm going to see this to? Where is not even as important when it comes down to the hierarchy of things, but who and why? Who is this person? Why am I watching? It has to be really, really clear very early. Why is Ed interesting? And why do I want to watch his story? Now, this will tie into your inciting incident of, and you have to place that correctly, remember. Because remember that timeline that I drew for you guys, where it's, you were there for that one, at least you've seen that before, the 100%, 50, and then split it again. That moment of the inciting incident, I consider it very scientifically accurate. Like, I feel it needs to happen then or sooner. So I don't view it as a moving scale. Oh, you can have it a bit later, earlier or by then. So by halfway through your first act, I believe you need to have had the thing happen. Die Hard, it's bang on time. When those robbers break into the building, it happens literally right at that moment where an inciting incident should happen. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video. I'm sure you're learning a lot, or at least I hope you are. I wanted to give you a quick heads up that I have a free newsletter with tips and advice on screenwriting linked in the description of this video. So make sure that you click on that link, sign up to the newsletter, check your emails, make sure that you click the blue button in the confirmation email to make sure that it goes directly into your inbox, and also add the email to your saved trusted contacts to make sure you do not miss a post, okay? And I send a post once every week, once every couple of weeks, but it's also got great, great insight for you on screenwriting. All right, guys, back to the video. So you've got to look at your scripts and say, by page, I don't know how long was your scripts again? How long was the whole thing?
95 or so.
95. Okay, so 95, 45, 20, that's 20. So let's say by page 10 has your inciting incident happened. That's what you've got to ask yourself. By page 10, has it happened? Has the thing happened to tell the audience, this is why I'm watching this story? I need to figure out how this lead actor or lead character is going to resolve this situation. So you've got to make sure that that's happening. And the problem that I had when I was reading it was, okay, this is an interesting character. It's interesting, you know, he seems not fish out of water. He's a bit awkward. He clearly has a certain skill. I would have liked to see that skill used in a way that would tell me where this story is going. That might have been an interesting way to do it so that the scene itself makes sense. And that's another conversation that we'll have later down the line, where every scene needs to have a reason to be in the script. So you need to be able to interrogate your scenes and say, okay, look, if I took this scene out of the script, would it change anything? That first scene, if that scene wasn't there and you began at the party years later, is the movie different? Is the script different? Does it change anything? You've got to really think about that. Now, I would say you could kind of get away with it, because that scene in the future where they've grown up, there are things that are said that could allude to the fact that he's changed. He's a different person. He's grown up. He's become new. So therefore, you've got to think, is there anything that I showed in that first scene, that is imperative the audience know, on top of the fact that he's changed? Is there anything? Now, a very good movie that does this, you weren't here for that session, was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade begins with him as a boy. And then it cuts when the cap gets put on his head by the thief, and he looks up and he's grown up. Now, that scene when he's grown up, what he's trying to get is the same cross that he lost literally in the scene when he was a kid just before. And when we get there, all that scene, the section in the beginning of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, was to tell you what type of person he is and why he's so obsessed about these things he goes after. Because it shows you the relationship between him and his father, and that his father doesn't appreciate him the way he wants to be appreciated. On top of that, it tells you where he got his scar on his chin from. It tells you about his authority over ancient historical artifacts, especially ones to do with Christ and Christianity, because his father is obsessed with Christianity and he has that diary with him. So many things. So therefore, if you take that scene out, it dramatically alters the impact of the scene you start with when he's on the boat. You've got to look at your script and ask yourself, is this doing the same thing? Is it having the same impact? How have you found the first, what is it? You've been maybe a month now, a month and a half. How have you found it? How's it been going for you?
I found it to be really helpful to me, really high quality, challenging in a sense that I think I now have higher expectations for my own work. I may or may not have mentioned that I did an online course, the New York Film Academy, 12-week screenwriting course. And in some ways, sometimes these things, of course, are driven by, the sort of slowest member of the group.
Right.
The ones with the least developed ideas. So, that was helpful to me because everything was new and, but I like the fact that you're quite demanding in terms of the quality of the stories and the care that needs to be put into the outlining. So I think that's good. That's what I aspire to. And of course, watching really good movies and reading really good scripts.
Right, that helps.
I will say Glengarry and Ross, it just didn't appeal to me as much as it does. It's but we don't. But Die Hard, on the other hand, I appreciate, even though I'm not necessarily an action fanatic, but
right.
I think I appreciated all we discussed about how you set it up.
It's very good structure. I think it's structurally very good. So even if you're making a romance script or whatever, the same principles in Die Hard would still apply. It's just such a well done. It's just really well done. Like, especially the first act that we talked about, it's just very, very well done. Another one that's very well done, actually, we haven't done that movie yet, is Back to the Future. So we'll do Back to the Future at some point. It's similarly, it's a fun movie, it's a family movie, but the script, like the beginning, just the opening till he gets to 1955 and we said, excellent. Like in a similar way to how Die Hard is. It does all the things that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter what kind of genre you're into. If you watch that movie and you understand how the script works, it's very effective.